It's October 25th, 2020, and there's like a perfect storm around the right to keep and bear arms is starting to develop. Um, we can thank Saint Benitez or Judge Benitez in the federal bench in California for some of the rulings that he has made and for a pending uh, um, bench trial that he's going to do, which goes right at the heart of California's assault weapons ban. And this is a federal judge in the Ninth Circuit. So, a positive ruling there, and all of his rulings have been in support of the Second Amendment, could destroy assault weapons language, not only in the state of California, but everywhere. So that's one of the things. There's two others that are in the Ninth Circuit that almost certainly one of them, if not all of them, will make it to the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court, uh, probably next year in 2021. Now, what makes that exciting to me is that Amy Coney Barrett will be a justice on that Supreme Court, and her thinking about the right to keep and bear arms is heartening uh, at the least. So, one, they certainly will take up a case now because Roberts, that chicken shit that he is, we don't have to worry about him saying no, we don't want to take a case because there are enough justices on that bench now that would probably rule favorably uh, on an anti-gun law. The consequences, though, are national in scope, especially once the Supreme Court rules, because that means that almost all anti-gun laws would be struck down. It is highly probable that the right, that constitutional carry will become the law of the land. I mean, we could hope, right? But that's how exciting next year is to people like you and I that uh, really like our right to keep and bear arms in the Second Amendment. On the other side of the discussion are those who are desperately trying to prevent that from happening. They could not stop uh, um, Ms. Barrett from being nominated through the Senate Judiciary Committee, and they certainly will not be able to stop her from being approved by the Senate. So she will be on the bench. Um, so what is happening now is like the liberal media or far left media likes to do, is they are trashing her thinking, saying she is extreme. Anything that supports the direct right of a person to keep and bear arms outside the house is considered an extreme position. I take the point that uh, having laws that force a person to be unarmed while outside is an extreme position against individuals. So it depends on who's going to be extreme. So I believe that there will be some positive uh, Second Amendment rulings at the Supreme Court level, at least at the California level, with Judge Benitez there. Um, so I'm excited about that. I don't live in California. I'm in the free state of Idaho, but that's okay. They're close enough, and we're getting enough Californians up here that I, I should pay attention to what goes on down there. But the other part is the desperateness of the anti-gun people. They know that pro-gun rulings will happen in the Supreme Court. What concerns me is they're not going to take it laying down. So what kind of things will they do? They, meaning the anti-gun people, the anti-self-defense people. What kind of things will they do? Because what they know is that more people, just like what happened during this stupid beer virus stuff, more people will become armed. Um, and my sense is that their constituencies, those people who go out into the street and destroy and burn things, will start to take a dirt nap, an unplanned dirt nap at that. And it will freeze that behavior. In other words, the consequence for misbehaving at that level will be you will fail the room temperature test, as they should. You and I are not law enforcement. Our rules of engagement are clear. Stop the threat, period. And you can stop the threat with deadly force. We don't have to read somebody the Miranda rights. We don't have to worry about bumping their head going into a car. All we have to do is say, you are a direct threat, serious bodily injury or death to myself or an innocent, and I'm going to now stop you. For example, if I was a store owner and I was standing out in front of my business and I saw somebody with a Molotov cocktail in their hand, I'm not going to wait for them to actually throw it. I'm going to shoot them in the melon. And then they'll drop it and probably burn themselves because the gas will get all over them. And it'll, that's the difference between being a cop and being a citizen defending yourself. Okay. So what will happen in 2021 when more people will be allowed to be armed in public? I believe that the assault weapons language in California will be struck down. And my concern is that the left will be so pissed off that I'm trying to imagine, what would they do? What would they do as in reaction to that? Would they try to engineer circumstances where like they try to do with the cops, where they try to bait people into shooting them to get blood on the street, to get that money shot? What will we do, the Second Amendment people? What will we do? What we shouldn't do is what some of these stupid yahoos do, and that's get all up in your battle rattle and put your long guns on and go walking around in public. The NFAC, those stupid folks are just making it worse. Because the idea, first of all, you can't go marching around as a military unit armed. It is against the anti-terrorist rule in every state. So I don't know why some state attorney general hasn't locked them all up. But my point is, there's no reason to walk around with long guns other than to say, look at my stuff. I mean, if it's a rally, if it's a Second Amendment rally, which I'm going to next weekend, then cool, because that's what it's for. But if it's in response to, or you're going to counter rally or counter protest a group, I would say, if you have a long gun, you probably have a pistol, right? And you probably can carry concealed. So I would say, go in stealth mode, go concealed, right? And then defend yourself if you have to. So that would be that. But to come back to what will they do? What will be the desperate reaction when some of these rulings come down and it strikes down these anti-gun laws in states where Bloomberg, for example, has been trying to create a West Coast barrier, gun-free zone from Oregon down all the way to the end of California. This kind of thing will destroy that idea, and there's no amount of money that he has that will turn that around, because you can't buy the Supreme Court. At least I don't think you can. So what will they do? What kind of desperate measures will they do? Because the law of the land, it becomes the law of the land. Now, they could stand out like the anti-abortion people do with signs and say, abortion kills babies or something, and they say, well, guns kill people. I don't care. They can walk around with signs like that all they want. Just don't bother me, So that's the question. What will they do? Because it's coming. It's coming. And coupled with that, People are tired of this lockdown stuff. There's very little compliance, and where governments are trying to use force. Imagine what happens when more people have guns, and there will be even more. They're going to say, like some of the folks in Northern California and those counties up there, they're saying, we're not going to shut down. We're not going to close our businesses. And if you come up here and try to force us, there's 100,000 people that are going to show up armed, and then you're going to have a problem. I mean, that's a quote from the people in the state of Jefferson. They like to call it that. I love those guys. Anyway, uh, that's my rambling thought this Sunday morning. And I even haven't even finished my coffee yet, but it was on my mind. It's probably on your mind too. Start looking at some of the news from the liberal mainstream media and see the kind of stuff they're writing to try to influence and give fear about all these crazy gun folks that are going to be out there. Man, it's going to be interesting. So as always, thanks for watching. Carry on.